Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to be sitting down and filming a video, filming what I have wanted to share with you for some time, and that is some books that I got for Christmas, my birthday, some before then even. But a lot has been going on. I had a baby and he's doing great. I'm doing great. We are all adjusting to life as a family of four, and it has just been really sweet. And yeah, I've just been taking things easy and settling in and recovering and all of that. My husband has a month of paternity leave, which is absolutely amazing. And it means he's been able to take our 2.5-year-old out and do errands and have fun times and things like that. And I've had a lot of time to rest, which has been lovely. And now I have a little bit of time to film a book haul because I want to share some of these books before I read them. I've already started some, I finished some, and I don't want to let too much time pass before I've read all of these books. I want to share them. And enjoy kind of the excitement of having some new books and new fun things to read. I think these are sort of roughly categorized, but we'll see. I was pulling these off my shelves, trying to be quick because little guy is an amazing sleeper, but you never know when a baby is going to wake up. So trying to make the most of the time that I have. All right, first up is my only nonfiction book. I don't read a ton of, well, actually that's not true. I have a book of poetry. I don't read a ton of nonfiction, but I'm very excited about this because this is a book that Emma from A Bookish Princess talked about a long time ago and has kind of raved about for a while. And that is I Married Adventure by Osa Johnson. This is a biography of her and her husband, who were photographers, some of the first photographers to capture the African safari, African wildlife. And this is her story of her life. Lots of pictures, which is fun to see kind of the pictures that they took, and also like snippets of their life in Africa. This is really interesting. Like, not only were they kind of pioneers in photography, but also just learning about their marriage, and were kind of living out this dream together. And I just really love that. I'm looking forward to reading this. I love the zebra stripes on the cover and the spine. And yeah, this is a pretty dense book, but I think it'll be a fun thing to pick up maybe this summertime and just slowly make my way through. Next up, I have this collection of poetry by Pope John Paul II, Saint John Paul II. And I have already started it. I'm almost halfway through and I'm enjoying it. I have a harder time appreciating poetry. I'm not a huge poetry person. So I don't think I maybe get as much out of it as some other people would. But I am really enjoying it. I particularly liked some of the poems in the beginning, and I'm just kind of slowly dipping into this here and there. And it is nice to have some poetry. I don't always have time to read a lot, but I can read a poem or two here and there. Next is a collection of short stories and essays, and that is The Land of Sweet Forever by Harper Lee. This is absolutely gorgeous. I love these new Harper Lee books, like this one and Go Set a Watchman. And I don't know if they've done To Kill a Mockingbird in the same kind of style, but I think they're absolutely gorgeous. And I had no idea that there was a new collection of Harper Lee short stories that was being published. This kind of completely flew under the radar for me. So I was very surprised when I opened this present, and because I had no idea that this book even existed. I absolutely love To Kill a Mockingbird, and I'm very excited to read this one as well. Next up are some classics, some Victorian classics, to be even more precise. And I have just been loving so much Victorian literature lately. And Victober I read a ton. I haven't read a ton since then. But I'm hoping to get to this when I have the mental capacity for that. Although I shouldn't say that. Like, I honestly think they're pretty great. Little guy slept amazing last night and I feel super refreshed. So maybe I'll be getting to these sooner rather than later. But the first is Three Men in a Boat and Three Men on the Bummel by Jerome K. Jerome. I'm very excited about this. This is supposed to be very humorous. It's been on my radar for a while, but I became really excited to read this after watching a lot of Kate Howe's Desert Island videos where she would interview people about the 5 Victorian books that they would want to bring with them on a deserted island. And so many people mentioned Three Men in a Boat. And I was like, oh, I really need to read that. So I'm excited to have a physical copy of it. I don't know, I haven't heard as much about Three Men on a Bummel. Maybe it's less good than Three Men in a Boat. But yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's 3 men on a boat on a river journey. I think there's also a dog. And I'm excited. It's pretty short. It's like less than 200 pages, 169 pages, 3 men in a boat. So it should be a quick, easy read. I have 2 books by a quickly becoming favorite author for me, and that is Elizabeth Gaskell. I have Cranford. I love the green on this and the sweet peas. I'm very excited to read this. The cloth bounds are not my favorite edition because I find them kind of hard to read, especially when it's a longer work. But this is not very long, and so I don't think it's going to be very challenging to read from this edition. And it's just absolutely stunning. And I have North and South, which is probably her most well-known work. I have so far only read Wives and Daughters and a shorter story, The Moorland Cottage. And I loved both of them so much that I just know I'm going to love Elizabeth Gaskell. And I'm very excited to read this one too. I'm torn because part of me really wants to reread Wives and Daughters, which I think I am going to do this spring/summer. But I also want to read these other books that I haven't read by her. So it's hard to know what to do. Like, do I read the new books or do I reread? I'm definitely going to reread, but hopefully I can get to maybe one of these also this year. I'm not going to read the back because I feel like often the backs of these classics spoil things. But from what I understand, this is about the disparities, the differences between the north and the south of England. We have a character who is from the south and moves to the north, and we get a lot about industrialization and different kind of social economic things that are happening at the time. Right, I have already shared a little bit about these books in what I was reading in December because I read one of these books in December. I read one of them in November and one of them in December. So I'm halfway through this short little series for children, and that is the Heartwood Hotel books. These are so sweet, so lovely. Easy, early kind of chapter books. The first one is A True Home. It's set in the autumn time. Each of the books follows a season. So I'm reading them in that season, slowly making my way through the series. Then the second book is The Greatest Gift. This is set in winter, kind of Christmas time. We have Better Together is the spring book. And Home Again is the summer book. So lovely. So like I said, I've read the first 2 books already and they're super fun. It takes place in this hotel in a tree, and we have all of these different woodland creatures. Our main character is this mouse, Mona, and she has no family. She's all alone and shows up at this hotel in the middle of a storm and finds a job and finds all of these other creatures and friends, and just really kind of makes a home for herself in this hotel. They're very sweet stories, lovely, really sweet, cozy kind of stories, and I'm really enjoying them. Some other books that I've technically already started because the enthusiasm was too high when I opened these, and that is the rest of the Betsy Tacy books. So I have the first collection, which is the first 4 books, and then these are the subsequent 3 collections. Each of them has 2 books in it. So I have already read Heaven to Betsy and Betsy in Spite of Herself. Absolutely loved it. These books are so much fun. They are set at the turn of the century in a small town in Minnesota, and it's based on the author Maud Hart Lovelace's real life, her experience growing up, but you know, certain things have been fictionalized. And I just love Betsy. I love her so much. She is in these books in high school. This is her first and second year in high school. And it's so much fun to see her group of friends and the adventures they get up to, and just kind of what life was like. I love her family so much. I love her dad especially. I think he's such an interesting character, full of so much love for his family, and just really, really funny. And yeah, there's just, these books are just pure delight. I was so happy to read this as kind of the last physical read before the baby came, and it was just so comforting, so cozy, and I'm already looking forward to picking up the next books in the series. Next up is Betsy Was a Junior and Betsy and Joe. So this is junior and senior year of high school. Finally is Betsy and the Great World and Betsy's Wedding. I also love these books. Like, they just look so pretty. So I'm very excited to continue reading this series. That is going to be a high priority for me in the next couple of months, is finishing up these books. And then finally, I have kind of one lone historical fiction book, and that is Born of Gilded Mountains by Amanda Dykes. So Miriam has talked about Amanda Dykes a lot, and I know she really loves this author. I think she particularly really enjoyed this book. It has a lot of letters, mixed media kind of things going on, which I always really enjoy when there is that element. I'm going to read the back of this one because I don't think it should spoil anything. Legends are tucked into every fold of the Colorado mountains surrounding the quaint town of Mercy Peak, where residents are the stuff of tall tales. The peaks are taller still, and a lost treasure has etched mystery into the very terrain. In 1948, when outsider Mercy Windsor arrives after a scandal shatters her gilded world as Hollywood's beloved leading lady, she is determined to forge a new life in obscurity in this time-forgotten Colorado haven. She purchases Wildwood, an abandoned estate with a haunting history, and begins to restore it to its former glory. But as she does, her every move tugs at the threads of the mountain's lore, unearthing what became of her long-lost pen pal Rusty Bright and the whereabouts of the infamous Galloping Goose Railcar No. 8, which vanished years ago along with the mailbag it carried, whose contents could change the course of countless lives, not to mention the fabled treasure that, if found, could right so many wrongs. Among the towering mountains that stand as silent witnesses to the ghosts of the past, entangle with the courage of the present to find a place where healing, friendship, and hope can abide, and a world forever changed. It sounds really lovely. I'm really excited. I've been reading a ton of historical fiction lately, but again, I kind of have that itch to read more. And I trust Miriam, and so I'm excited to give this one a try. I haven't read anything by Amanda Dykes, so we'll see. All right, that is it for a somewhat quick book haul. Again, I am really excited to get to a lot of these books. We'll see when that happens. But I have been reading a good amount lately, and I hope to be back sometime soon with an update about what I've read in January and so far in February. Thank you so much, everyone, for your prayers and well wishes. It was a bit of a doozy, and I'm happy to say that everyone is doing well and we came out on the other side of things. It means a lot. All of your prayers mean a lot. And yes, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you hopefully soon. Bye.